Well, welcome to Nuggets of Gold. On the morning after the presidential debate, the first one between President Trump and Joe Biden, and it was not pretty based on my recollection. I watched most of it. A couple of my kids sitting by. I wanted them to have a chance to see what it looks like to have two grown gentlemen have a intense but appropriate conversation about the issues in our country, and it did not go that way at all. In fact, one of my takeaways from the debate, this is a true story, as I was praying with my 11-year-old going to bed, the prayer was, Lord, help us to have more control over our words and help us to use our words in a better way than the two men we saw on TV tonight. And my 11-year-old, who doesn't know politics and doesn't know government, and she was able to say, to that prayer request, and that is hugely disappointing. Hugely disappointing that these men who are stumping to be our foremost leaders, some people would still say the President of the United States, the most powerful man in the world, so disappointing to see them give a poor example of handling their words and handling the way that they lead. Another takeaway that I had from it, and then we'll get into a verse. A second takeaway I had was lots of people on social media that I saw afterwards were shocked by how these guys talk to each other. And so many of them on social media are people that talk day in and day out in the exact same way. And I'm not just talking about public figures or media figures. I'm talking about my friends, many who are Facebook friends, who day after day go and be harsh and be mocking and be rude, and then they were writing how disappointed they were or how much of a debacle the debate was. And come on, these two guys are reflecting who we are and where we are moving as a society. And if we want it to be different from the top down to ourselves, we are going to have to walk in a different way. We are going to have to live into our society with different attitudes, with different ways of speaking, with different ways of respect, if that's what we want our society to grow up into and produce leaders that are any different. All right. We're a couple minutes in. Let's find a verse. And again, I don't look at these beforehand. We're going to find a verse and we're going to spend 1 minute or 90 seconds applying it to our society's disrespect and maybe the presidential debate. Let's grab this purple one. I need a shorter one here. So let's go with this. Psalm 5, verse 4. Psalm 5, verse 4, very short, says this. For you are not a God who delights in wickedness. Evil may not dwell with you. Here it is again. Psalm 5, verse 4. For you are not a God who delights in wickedness. Evil may not dwell with you. If we want to see our individual lives transformed by the power of God, we must push evil away from us personally in an active way. The sin that tempts us, the sins that we love, the evil, whether it's anger and impatience or whether it's lust and spending money too much, whatever it is, if we want to be near to God, this verse reminds us evil doesn't live with the Lord. We need to push it away as we seek His grace to draw us near to Him. That's individually. Now, then we would expand that. If we want our families to delight in the Lord. This verse says, you are not a God who delights in wickedness. Is my family participating in wickedness on any level? Is my family participating in what the culture says is normal, but what God says is not acceptable or not normal according to how He made us? We've got to first look at ourselves. We've got to look at our families. Then we take it to a next level. If we're involved in a church or whatever organization we're in, how can I be about doing what is right, doing what is full of integrity, living with respect with others, even those I disagree with? You are not a God who delights in wickedness. Evil may not dwell with you. If we want to be part of anchoring or taking our culture into a place where there is respect, where there is love, where there is some kind of unity, then we've got to say, I'm not participating in wickedness as the Bible defines it and as God defines it. I'm going God's way, and I'm going to get on my knees. I'm going to get on my knees, and the first thing I'm going to deal with is my sin. I'm not going to point at others. I'm not going to mock others. I'm not going to ridicule others. And I don't say that about the two candidates. I say that about us. I'm getting on my knees and dealing with my wickedness so that I can speak differently, be more patient, be more kind. I can speak the truth in love. That's what God's word says. I encourage you, I implore you to live different kinds of lives and interact differently with people than what we saw on the TV last night, because the TV last night reflected how many of us are already interacting with one another on a daily basis. Chase after what is good, chase after what is Jesus, and push away what is evil, beginning with yourself. We will see you next time.